Hello, welcome back to another episode of Asia Rugby Live, real talk, real rugby. And of course, I hope everyone is doing all right. Malaysia is currently having a public holiday, and I am enjoying it very, very much. And I hope you guys are doing all right at home. Just to update everyone on the current news, current rugby news, as the competition for quarter 3 has been cancelled. Asia Rugby has just announced it, and for quarter 4 competition, the player welfare and medical committee will only be deciding on this in August. So watch out for that. We hope that things will get better, and hopefully by August, the player welfare and medical committee can announce something, probably a good news for all of us. And if you go to the Asia Rugby website, you can also read the latest articles where Korea is getting ready for the Olympics. So that's one big news as well for Asia Rugby. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page, and also don't forget to click on the notification, the bell button. The bell button. There you go. Okay, I'm getting this all wrong, but yeah, remember to subscribe, and also press on that notification button so that you receive future notifications from us should there be any new contents. Okay, so for this week we have 4 new guests who'll be talking about champions of development. They are the champions of development in their respective countries. You have two from Pakistan, one from Jordan, and the last one is from Malaysia. Let me introduce you guys to the people from Pakistan first. So we have the two people from Pakistan, which are Shakeel Malik, the head of GIR Pakistan, and also Shazia Shabbir, the coach for GIR Pakistan. Shakeel, how are you doing, brother?
I'm very well, Ruth. I'm very well.
And Shazia, you are all right?
Yes, all right.
Good. Great to have you guys here with us at Asia Rugby Live. And the next guest I would like to introduce to you guys is Mais Khoury, and Mais is from Jordan, and she's been involved with Jordan Rugby. Mais, how are you doing? How's the weather right now in Jordan?
Hi, good morning. I'm doing very well. Hope you're doing good this morning.
It's actually evening here in Malaysia, but yes, good morning to you. Thank you very much.
I'm
Thank you
sorry,
for being
the
here with
heat,
us.
the heat is getting all in my head. It's hot in Jordan.
Oh, for sure. We in Malaysia we are very used to the heat, so and the last person who is very used to the heat, that's why he is bald right now. Raimi Yusof is the general manager for the Eagles Rugby Club, who has been involved with development and also GIR for a very long time in Malaysia. Raimi, how are you doing, brother? How's the weather in Sandakan right now?
Well, I've been good. Thank you very much, Rod. The weather here, it's been hot by the past few days. We've been getting heavy rains, but all in all, everything's quite good.
Cool. That's great. And yesterday it was raining in Sandakan, and I hope things are well for you guys in Sandakan, because when it rains, it really rains, huh?
Yep, correct.
Okay, guys. Topic for today, we're talking about taking rugby to new frontiers, and of course, all of the panels today, from what I've heard, from what I've read, you know, Shakeel, Shazia, Mais, and Raimi, they have traveled far, to the jungles, to the deserts, to meet all kinds of people. This is for the development of rugby, and salutations to you guys. There's a lot of respect for you guys for doing this, especially to grow rugby wherever you are. And I would like to know. I would like our audience to know more. Of our panel. Probably we can start with Mais. Ladies first. Mais, what's your role? And also your involvement with Jordan Rugby.
Okay, so my current involvement with Jordan Rugby is I'm a coach. I started this journey about a year ago when I was given the chance to coach rugby in remote places. There were different initiatives in Jordan working with refugees and in-hosts. I was personally involved with working with 13 to 16-year-old Jordanian young boys in an area called Al Zatari. Sports is a very important part of their community, and to see the enthusiasm and the potential that these young players have is what makes us want to give them more. And developing the accessibility of rugby is what we're trying to do to make our community one. And this is the reason why we're trying to take rugby to different places and to new places. Other than being a coach, I'm also a player. I play with the Jordanian national team and the Nomads Club. I wear the number 3 jersey and I'm a prop.
Oh, that's great, Mais. What an introduction by Mais. So, Raimi, Shakeel, and Shazia, you guys have to have a great introduction as well. You know what, Shakeel, tell
Yeah.
us what is your background for Pakistan
Yeah.
rugby.
First of all, on the behalf of Pakistan Rugby Union, I would like to thank to inviting us on this type of excellent platform like on Asia Rugby Live. So
Mhm.
I'm as working as a technical director and you can say it's like head of the GI here in Pakistan. So my journey been start in about you can say it's 2015 within the 1 million Asia Rugby Asia 1 million project. So now we are working with same like track on development as well. So this is things.
Yeah, that's great to have you guys. People like you to be involved in rugby. Of course, that's something great for the game. How about Shazia? Can you tell us what's your role and involvement with Pakistan rugby?
मेरा इन्वॉल्वमेंट ये है कि पाकिस्तान रग्बी में फ़र्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो मैंने पहले खेलना स्टार्ट किया, इस गेम में आई तो काफ़ी अच्छा लगा। तो उसके बाद पाकिस्तान रग्बी यूनियन ने मुझे एक प्लेटफ़ॉर्म दिया जिसके बिहाफ़ पर मैंने पाकिस्तान में डेवलपमेंट स्टार्ट की। फिर डेवलपमेंट में मैंने आईआर करवाई बच्चों को और डेवलपमेंट करवाई और उसके बाद मुझे प्लेटफ़ॉर्म मिला, कोचिंग करवाई और साथ-साथ खेल भी रही हूँ मैं।
Can I elaborate, Rod, if you want?
Yes, yes, please.
She's starting rugby career like in 2000 I think so in 2011. So now she is working as a development manager in South Punjab, women's development manager in South Punjab. She also working on a coaching platform as well. She's on a level 2 coaching pathway, and she's also a railway department team captain, 7th team captain as well.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And of course, there's some interesting stories that Shakil, Shazia, and also Mais have to, share with us. And I would love to hear from them. I have heard some of the stories from Raimi, but you know what? Some of you guys don't know Raimi. Why not Raimi? Can you tell us, what is your involvement for rugby in Malaysia?
All right. Thank you very much, Rod. As you all know, my name is Raimi Yusof. Currently, I am the general manager for Eagles Rugby Club based here in Sandakan, Sabah. I'm also currently the inside the ARFU Development Committee. Previously, I was in MRU for 6 years, heading the GIR program. I was a player. Currently, I do a little bit of coaching, but I'm more involved now with administration and management. Um, even though I've retired as player, I still do keep myself playing touch with the boys and everything else. But other than that, I'm enjoying myself getting involved with rugby.
Yeah, that's great, man. And of course, there's a little bit of history with me and Raimi. We used to play together in the same club. Once we tackled a player, then after that, rather than the other opponent being injured, I got injured because Raimi tackled me. So that was interesting. Anyway, moving along. Back to the topic for today, taking rugby to new frontiers. Mais, tell us where do you do development work in Jordan?
I worked with a project and we did development work in an area called Al Zatari. It is a rather small village that is a 90-minute drive from the city Amman. It's located in the desert. This village, Bedouins live in this village, and the facilities there are a bit limited, such as fields and classrooms. They don't have all the luxuries that we can find in the city, and they lead a very simple life.
Oh, that's great. So, can you tell us more about Zatari?
Okay, so when I started working with them, I would also like to give a shout out to the NGO that created this unique program called Aurora. And we worked with them to go to Zaatari and coach rugby there to 13 to 16-year-old boys. During the program, we got to meet the parents. We got to sit down for lunch after our practice. We got to bond. The kids there had a chance to become brothers more than teammates, more than they got to get very close to each other for this program because they all started learning rugby together. None of them have ever heard of rugby before we went there. So learning this together made them become as a family, and this bond was amazing. Other than that, we learned from them because they lead a simple life and they don't have the luxuries that we have. We saw the simplicity and the way that they live their lives. So we also had the chance to learn from them. So it was actually an amazing experience because we both had to learn from each other.
So I'm sure you get to taste their excellent food as well, because I've heard these people have
Oh yeah,
some
their
great
food
and
is
amazing
amazing.
food, right?
Yeah.
For sure. And talking about probably Shakeel, I guess PRE also takes rugby to rural areas in Pakistan. Can you elaborate a bit more on that?
Yeah, Rod, actually, the in Pakistan we have more than 70% area is based on our rural areas. So we are very rapidly working on our rural areas. Like in especially I'll discuss about the South Punjab. South Punjab is most, you can say it's more than 95% is a rural area. So in last 4 years, within the Asia Rugby 1 million project, are we are like engaged more than 200,000 kids, PT, including P teachers or women's, and in rugby, in rugby like information or rugby qualification or whatever things. So now we are because in rural area I'll discuss about the South Punjab. Uh, we have more than, you can say we have more than 67 team in only in South Punjab. Only in South Punjab, 16, 60, more than 16 boys team. And after this, Shazia can elaborate about the girls team, but I'll discuss about the boys team. So because I also discussed with you about the rural area is 70%. So even we have some Upper Punjab, we have rural areas. Over there, we have a more than 26 or 27 teams, 7 teams. Same like as in, you can say in KPK Fata is in or tribal areas, and they have some lot of rural areas over there. So or mostly focus on, you can say it's mostly focus on a rural area for the development of rugby. So it's very good for like we have a good achievement from the rural areas for the rugby development.
Right. Is this why you guys, Pakistan, got recognition from World Rugby for engaging players in remote areas in the past?
Yeah, of course. In 2015, World Rugby, after the closing ceremony in the World Cup, World Rugby gave us a Spirit of Rugby award for the development in remote areas, like you can say tribal areas in FATA, KPK, and different areas. In 2015, and the areas in FATA and KPK, we have a problems over there. Now we are okay with these areas, but in 2015 we have a problems over there. But we were still developing rugby in these areas. That's why World Rugby gave us a Spirit of Rugby award in 2015 in closing World Cup ceremony.
And I'm sure you guys are pretty proud of that award from World Rugby,
Yeah,
as I'm sure any union would.
yeah, of course.
Um, yeah. Shazia, do girls in rural areas also play rugby?
जी सर, एक्सप्लेन करें सर शकील।
शाजिया शाजिया रूरल एरिया में यानी आपका जो साउथ पंजाब का एरिया है, इसमें रग्बी लड़कियां खेलती हैं ना? मीन्स आप बताएं कि किस तरह खेलती हैं, क्या खेलती हैं, कितनी टीम्स हैं, क्या है, वो सारा बता दें।
जैसा कि मैंने खुद ही स्टार्ट की थी, तो स्टार्ट में तो काफ़ी इश्यूज हुए थे, तो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता जैसे इन होती गई गेम्स, हमने डेवलपमेंट भी की। तो उस एरियाज़ में जैसे कि मैं 16 से 17 साल की थी, तो मैं कोचिंग भी करवाती थी, डेवलपमेंट भी करवाती थी डिफरेंट स्कूल्स में जाकर। तो इस तरह से थोड़ी-थोड़ी अवेयरनेस आई, जैसा कि मेरी फ्रेंड्स ने, मेरे कोलीग्स ने, सारी गर्ल्स ने देखा कि हम खेल रहे हैं, तो उन्होंने भी इन्वॉल्वमेंट की रग्बी गेम में। तो आहिस्ता-आहिस्ता हमारी टीम जैसे ही वजूद में आई, तो काफ़ी लड़कियों ने देखा-देखी बहुत मुतासिर हुई और उन्होंने खेला। और जिनको प्रॉब्लम्स था पेरेंट्स का कि उनको परमिशन नहीं मिल रही थी, तो वो भी मतलब कि जैसे कि हमारी होती थी ट्रेनिंग सेशन, तो उसके बाद हम उनके घर जाते थे, सारे मिल बैठ के लंच वगैरह करते थे। तो उनको एक्सप्लेन करते थे कि ऐसे-ऐसे हम खेल रहे हैं, ये इनकी फैसिलिटीज़ वगैरह है। तो उनके बिहाफ़ पर कुछ पेरेंट्स हमें परमिशन देते थे, तो इस तरह से हमें खेलने का मौका मिला।
Um, Rod, she said she's starting when she was in 15-year-old. So when she start the rugby, the other neighbors and the other class school fellows, they also interested for join her. And she said this now she's in rural area like in South Punjab. We have very rich women's culture in over there. We produce more than 40 or we reached more than 40,000 or 50,000 women in even South Punjab for rugby information, for rugby promotion.
Wow, that's a lot of people for
Yeah,
in terms of women,
I
involved in
I'm
rugby.
just
So
I'm
I
just more I'm just elaborate some things. We have in even only in South Punjab we have 12
Mhm.
women's sevens teams right now. 12 women's sevens
Wow,
teams.
that's only in
और
South
Right
सर
Punjab.
now.
So
15
that means
15 साइड भी इंशाल्लाह।
And she said in future we'll go for the 15s as well.
for sure, and I'm sure because we have the
Yeah.
numbers, and that's just in South Punjab. Just imagine the whole of Pakistan. So there's a lot of potential over there. But I think we're gonna change geographical wise. I think we're gonna ask Raimi. So Raimi is based in Sanakan. So for those who don't know, Sanakan is on the island of Borneo. It's in the state of Sabah. So it will take about one and probably almost 2 hours by flight to Sandakan from Kuala Lumpur, the capital. So, and of course, you take rugby to rural areas as well, Raimi. Can you elaborate a bit on that?
Well, it takes about 2.5 hours by flight, yeah, from Kuala Lumpur. Just to correct you there a bit, Rod. Yes, we do. Sabah has a development program which we also incorporate get into rugby into the program as well, where we go into areas, secluded areas in the whole of Sabah. So geographically, Sabah is a landscape of a lot of nature. So that's why it's called Borneo. So when I say nature, there's a lot of jungles, there's a lot of hills, there are mountains, and everything else. But the ideal part about Borneo is it's accessible. Accessible in the sense that it takes a bit of a challenge to go from one point to another. So the Sabah Rugby Union has been working really hard for the last 5 to 10 years, trying to basically introduce rugby to Borneo. There is a huge hunger from the kids and the teachers to basically wanting to expand the sports. They started off with very minimal number of teams. Today alone, I think they have the highest number of women's team in the whole of Malaysia for state-wise there. So the challenge is always, it takes for me. I'll give you an idea. to go to rural areas, it sometimes takes us 10 to 12 hours to drive. Yeah? So if you go from all the way from Long Pasir all the way, you want to go to the tip of Borneo, Kudat, that that's a challenge, But every time it pays off when you reach there. It pays off because the welcome committee that we get from the kids, the teachers, are overwhelming, and then it shows that they are really eager to be a part of a sports. That's basically what drives the teachers here. I think I have huge respect towards the teachers, wanting to learn the sports, empowering themselves, wanting calling us to basically give them as much support as we can. And I think that's a huge key factor of why Sabah can be very successful in rugby.
So, are the kids excited as well? Because I've heard they really welcome you guys when you are there.
Well, Rod is amazing. The first time I went to a few places. Yeah, we started when I was in Malaysia Rugby. I came here occasionally, but once I was here, based here, and then we started going, you get a reception where you never would expect. Imagine if we were to go to a location, to a school, which takes about a 10 to 20 minutes drive, because you cannot drive into the area. You can see kids coming on with teachers, everything, helping us carry the stuff, carry the balls, getting excited, singing to us, meeting, wanting to shake your hand, asking when do we start, and then even when you finish your program after 2 hours, they still want some more. And that's amazing. And I think the kids here, because they are surrounded by nature, they're naturally, the kids are here are very active and physically strong. So huge potential for us to basically explore. And I think that gets most of the teachers here excited and also motivated.
Oh, you're pretty much superstars there in Borneo, I guess, Raimi.
Right.
um, Mais, do your visits also create excitement when you arrive at all these places where you do development?
Yes, I agree with Raimi. When we arrive there, the kids directly start running to you. They want to carry the ball. They want to take your bag. They want to help. They're very excited when we go there. And when we're in the field, other kids from the neighborhood pass by, and they ask, "What are you playing? Let us play with you. Teach us." It's very nice. And then the kids sometimes watch rugby games on YouTube. So when we come there, they're very excited to tell us about it. They tell us about the games that they watch. They tell us about the teams that they saw and that they want to become like that someday. So they're very excited and it's amazing.
Oh wow, that must be great, especially with
Yeah.
the involvement of the parents as well.
hmm Their parents
Um,
are very proud of the kids.
how's the support from the parents and towards the game of rugby?
At the beginning, the parents didn't know what rugby was. They didn't know what the game is all about. But then, when they saw how happy their kids were, how much they loved it, and how strong of a bond they created with each other and with the community around them, and the values that they learned through rugby, this made the parents want their kids to be more involved in rugby. They would tell us, please come and give them more sessions, give them more and more coaching. Please coach them more. Come for more days. What we gained from the parents is absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, for sure, and of course, you guys will be busier because the parents wants you guys to come back and train the
Yeah.
kids. Uh, let's change over to Pakistan. Shazia, what do you think of why do you think the girls are attracted to rugby?
शाजिया, आपके ख्याल में रग्बी में लड़कियां क्यों अट्रैक्ट हो रही हैं? आपके
बेसिकली और गेम्स भी खेली जाती हैं लेकिन उनमें इतनी फैसिलिटी नहीं होती जैसा कि ये पीआरयू हमें दे रही है रग्बी में। तो गर्ल्स खेल रही हैं, तो इसके अलावा हमारे मतलब कि 35 से 40 गर्ल्स हैं जो डिपार्टमेंट को कर रही हैं, खेल रही हैं, तो डिपार्टमेंट उन्हें सैलरी दे रहे हैं और उन्हें अच्छे मौके मिल रहे हैं, उन्हें यूनिवर्सिटी फ्री हो रही है, मैथ्स फ्री मिलता है। तो उसकी वजह से भी गर्ल्स इन्वॉल्वमेंट कर रही हैं क्योंकि और गेम्स हैं, तो वो इतना नहीं कर रही हमें फैसिलिटी। कोई भी हमारा टूर्नामेंट होता है, हमारी किट हो गई, कुछ भी हो गया, व्हाटएवर, तो ऑल चीज़ हमें पीआरयू फैसिलिटेट करती है। जिसकी वजह से गर्ल्स अट्रैक्ट हो रही हैं और खेलती भी हैं, माशाल्लाह काफ़ी स्ट्रॉन्ग हैं गर्ल्स। तो उनको जैसे अच्छी ट्रेनिंग मिलती है तो वो खेलती हैं और उनके स्पोर्ट्स भी करते हैं घर वाले। मोर देन कि हमें जो पीआरयू है उन्होंने इतनी अच्छी फैसिलिटी की हुई है, तो जिसकी वजह से गर्ल्स भी कर रही हैं और मैं भी देखिए इस लेवल पर हूँ। स्टार्ट में कुछ नहीं थी मैं भी, मुझे इवन बोलना भी नहीं आता था। तो मैं आई यहाँ पर, इन्होंने मुझे कोचिंग कोर्स करवाया, मैंने डेवलपमेंट यहाँ पर की, तो मुझे बोलना भी आता है, माशाल्लाह काफ़ी एक्टिव हूँ। तो अब गर्ल्स भी देखा देखी में कर रही हैं और उनको फैसिलिटेट भी काफ़ी हो रहा है, जस्ट रग्बी गेम में, और गेम्स में नहीं।
Okay, she said actually the reason is PRU gave them a good facilities in all over the like South Punjab areas. For promotion of the rugby, other games are not involving this type of things. So because of the women's in attract with the rugby in all over South Punjab, we have 35 to 40 girls who are involved in the departments, like on salary based. They are in departments on the salary based. It's about 40 girls, and more than you can say, it's about 70. More than 70 girls are on free scholarship in different universities. So that's why the reason is to promotion in South Punjab or different areas. The rugby is very attractive in the women's.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And for Shazia as well, I would like to know how rugby played a part in developing you as an individual.
आपकी इंडिविजुअल में क्या किरदार अदा किया है रग्बी ने आपको इंडिविजुअल डेवलप करने के लिए, मींस आपका खुद के लिए?
मेरे लिए ये था कि मेरा बेसिकली जो फाइनेंशियली था बहुत मतलब लो था, इवन के मुझे खेलने के लिए भी ग्राउंड जाने के लिए काफ़ी मुश्किल होती, तो जिसकी वजह से मतलब कि मुझे इन्होंने जीएडीए दिया और इसके अलावा मुझे फिर डेवलपमेंट करवाई, मुझे कोचिंग कोर्सेज करवाए, मुझे इस बिहाफ पे किया कि मैं फाइनेंशियली थोड़ा स्ट्रांग हुआ, इसके बिहाफ पर मैंने घर वालों की भी हेल्प की। तो ये मेरे लिए बहुत ही बड़ी अचीवमेंट है कि मुझे गेम के थ्रू ये सब कुछ मिला। हालाँकि ऐसे मतलब रियल लाइफ में इतना नहीं मिलता हमें कि हम कहते हैं कि हम स्पोर्ट्स भी करें, हमें फाइनेंशियली भी वहाँ से स्पोर्ट्स मिल रही हो, तो ऐसे बहुत कम देखने को मिलता है, जो कि मुझे मिला और मेरे लिए बहुत अच्छा साबित हुआ। और उसकी बिहाफ़ पर अभी तक मैं खेल भी रही हूँ, कोचिंग भी करवा रही हूँ और डेवलपमेंट भी करवा रही हूँ।
On initial stage, she said she was shy, little bit shy, but now she's very confident. And because of she's employee of Pakistan Rugby Union, she has some good financial help right now. But the other thing, she's now as a she's is a captain. I think Shazia, आप रेलवे में भी कैप्टन हो ना, रेलवे की टीम में?
जी, जी।
Now she's a railway
जी हाँ।
one of the department called railways. She's a captain with the railway team. So she said she's very confident with the like as a player career as well, and now she's converted to her uh, as a coaching career. So she's very confident to develop individually like self things.
Oh, that's great, man. That's some great stories by Shazia, and of course, uh, from the stories we heard from Mais, from Raimi, definitely rugby can mold someone, mold an individual into someone great, being a leader in their own organization or at work and stuff like that. So that's great story from Shazia. Probably Raimi, can you tell us, why are the kids in remote areas so interested in rugby? So that's number one, and number two, when these kids get a chance to play rugby, do they have a chance to keep on playing to go to the next level?
Well, for the first question, Rod, why the kids are, they're excited. I think the difference between, I've been involved with development for some years. The difference between Peninsular Malaysia kids and also the Borneo kids here the kids here are basically, I won't say deprived, are lacking of the modern technologies which want to keep them occupied. So they find a lot of physical or basically outdoor activities to keep themselves occupied, especially in rural areas. Some areas don't even have internet connection, so they are regularly keeping themselves. The parents are encouraging the kids to go out and play. So this indirectly basically makes them want to pick up a certain sports. So I wanted to mention earlier, much earlier just now. What keeps rugby here to be on the high is are the teachers. The teachers here are the key of making the sports basically expanding and also getting better. So it's part of my job and also the Sabah Rugby Union is to basically giving or even empowering the teachers with tools, with equipments, with knowledge, and then some ideas on how do we keep them on the pathway in rugby or constantly making them interested to keep playing rugby. So that's where we have a lot of courses. Say I give you example. I know Get Into Rugby has a great application on the phone for GIR where people can basically scroll and check what are the programs I want to do. But in Borneo it's different. When I go to places, I need to basically print out because sometimes they may not have internet connection, sometimes they don't have phone connections in certain schools. But all in all, it's amazing because every time when I go into these areas, they're if you are from a city, you say, oh no, but they're deprived of this or this, but they don't see it as being deprived. They see it is, or they are very prideful people, Sabahans and the Borneans. So when I say they're very prideful, even the teachers, when we go to certain areas, if we have to sleep anywhere, there's no hotels or guest house, they will welcome you because Sabahans are very friendly. Or even in Borneo, they're very friendly people. They will accept you in their houses, whether you sleep in their long houses, you sleep in the school halls, or even you sleep in the classes. They will make you as comfortable as they can, and then they will basically offer you food and everything else, and that's basically passion. So there's no funds for that. It's all the effort of the teachers and the parents or even the players. And to me, that's one of the reasons why I think it's different culturally. So when I came here, I had ideas on how to do things, but once I got here and I've been here for 1 year, it's humbled me. It's humbled me in the sense of you may have everything, but if people don't want to learn from you, it makes no difference. It's different here. You can have a little bit, but if you offer them a little bit of things, they'll be so appreciative. So that's the
Yeah,
difference. I
for
think
sure, for
that's the
sure.
drive. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I guess that's
So
the opportunity that they get. They appreciate all the opportunities that they get,
yes,
from whatever that you guys offer to them. So
yeah.
that's a great story. Probably mine is you can share with us the story of the kids in Zatari also get a chance to play against other teams.
Malik.
Yes, yes, they actually got a chance to play against other teams last year. Yeah, there was we created like a mini tournament. There were three teams from boys their age. It was in the city Amman, and they came to Amman and played against them. They actually came in second place. So every time we used to go there and coach them during the training, they would ask us, "How are the other teams doing? Are we doing good? Are we doing better?" They wouldn't know how they're doing against the other teams. They would always ask us this question, and we would tell them that someday you will play against them and you will know where you are at. So when they played against them and they came in second place, that was the most amazing feeling they ever had. It was so motivational that they wanted to continue playing, that they wanted to do more, that they wanted to do better. And it was the first time they were engaged with the boys from their age from the city. So even this experience to them is different because they never played with boys their age in the city. They always played with their neighbors, their cousins, people from their village. But to come here and play against boys from the city, that was different to them. And they also learned a lot from them. And the boys from the city learned from the Bedouins. So it was a very amazing cultural experience for both teams and for everyone there. So they really enjoyed the tournament, and it motivated them to keep giving more and to keep playing rugby.
And hopefully, probably one day these guys will be representing Jordan Rugby. Hopefully, you never know, right? You're talking about potential and also talking about the rural teams having an opportunity. Shakil, probably you have any stories of rural teams showing potential against the city teams in Pakistan?
Yeah, of course, because frankly speaking, dude, in our areas, like rural areas, the boys are very, very confident because one of the team is based on rural area. His name is Desert Camel. He's in Division One, is in Elite
Mm-hmm.
Division, 15th team. So now the rural areas boys are quite confident with the rugby as well because I just elaborate some things. Uh, the boys, more than you can say, is 200 boys are based. They are based on rural areas. They are studying in the universities for free scholarships. Total 20, it's about 22 universities. They have a proper rugby programs in Pakistan, and more than 200 kids from the rural areas they are involved in the scholarships with the different universities, and some universities are providing a monthly stipend as well. So in especially in Pakistan, and now the rural kids are quite comfortable and quite confident with the rugby game because a lot of are involved in the jobs as well, with some government jobs and private jobs as well, universities, departments, and even you can say it's about 35% boys are with the Pakistan national team. They are belong to the rural areas. So
Right.
I can say the now the boys from the rural areas they are very confident with the rugby in Pakistan. I think so.
Oh, that's great. Probably Shazia, you can tell us, how about the rural girls? Do they have potential, and is there a chance for them to play rugby after school?
शाजिया तुम्हारे एरिया में जो आफ्टर स्कूल के बाद पोटेंशियल है रग्बी का वो बताओ लाइक यूनिवर्सिटी और डिपार्टमेंट्स में जो भी हो रहा है वो आप बता सकते हैं और क्लब्स का भी बता सकते हैं सबसे
हमारे पाकिस्तान में तकरीबन 12 क्लब्स हैं गर्ल्स के, जो कि यूनी में तो करती हैं ट्रेनिंग आफ्टर यूनी और कॉलेज के बाद। तो वो ना आकर क्लब्स में भी ट्रेनिंग करती हैं, जो कि एक अच्छी चीज़ है। हमारे हालांकि ये मतलब कि देहाती एरियाज़ हैं, इनमें इतना नहीं होता, लेकिन गेम्स उन्होंने इतनी माशाल्लाह की हुई एक्टिव हो गई हैं कि वो आकर इवनिंग में भी अपने क्लब्स में ट्रेनिंग करती हैं गर्ल्स। तो जो कि बहुत अच्छी बात है। यहाँ पर और एरियाज़ हैं, लेकिन वहाँ पर ये गेम्स और जो गेम्स हैं वो नहीं खेली जाती। जैसे हम रग्बी आते हैं, हमें अलाउ है, हमने ग्राउंड लिया हुआ है, क्लब्स बनाए हुए हैं जिसमें गर्ल्स खेलती हैं, और वो खेल के काफ़ी एक्टिव हैं और खुश होती हैं। उनके पेरेंट्स भी आते हैं, देखते हैं उनको ट्रेनिंग करते हुए, तो वो भी काफ़ी खुश हैं कि हमारी माशाल्लाह गर्ल्स काफ़ी अच्छा खेल रही हैं।
Okay, the girls are because of we have a actually the women's rugby is also introduced in departments and universities as well. So we have 8 departments. They have proper women's rugby teams. So they all paid department. So even the university is same like boys. We have a women's scholarship over there, and he also said like we have a 12 clubs as well. So the girls after school they are very interesting to go for the free scholarships or for the department for the jobs to earn some money or whatever things. So that's why one of the good reason to promote rugby like after school they are very interested to go to the like further progression like and even the further study for free studies because education is quite expensive in Pakistan. So if you'll provide a free like scholarship in universities, the lot of people are like interested for the game. So rugby is in the universities as well and the department as well. That's why the girls after school they are quite happy to continue with the same game like rugby.
Oh, that's great. Probably Mais, can you share with us, are there like similar opportunities for girls and women in Jordan for, if they are affiliated to rugby?
Yes, of course. Currently in rural areas, we haven't started any women's teams. We were going to, it was on the plan, but it was a bit postponed due to COVID-19. But definitely there are many opportunities for women in Jordan. I mean, rugby for women in Jordan started in 2014, where we only used to play touch rugby. And then in 2018, we began practicing contact rugby. And last year was a very special year for us because it was the first national women's team. And we got the chance to go to Qatar and play against Lebanon and Qatar in West Asia tournament. So this is a very huge thing for Jordan. And from that point on, I think we can start getting more women into rugby, whether in cities or in rural areas, because before that, no one has heard of rugby. And rugby was always thought of as a men's sport more than a women's sport. But having a national team now changes the whole view of women in rugby. So this is something that we're very proud of, and hopefully in the years to come, we will definitely develop women's rugby in Jordan.
By the way, on behalf of everyone, from Asia Rugby, we would like to congratulate Jordan Rugby for becoming a World Rugby member. So I think that's a great achievement for Jordan Rugby, probably, and this will definitely lift Jordan Rugby for years to come.
Yes, definitely. Thank you very much. We worked so hard for this, and we're very proud of where we are now. And hopefully, this will help us in the future to get to bigger places.
And I'm sure you guys will definitely go further and beyond. And probably Raimi, how about the girls and women in East Malaysia? Of course, you've been involved with women's rugby since I've known you.
Yeah, I was, you're correct, Rod. I was involved with the first team development, which is started from Royal Selangor Club. They're called the Dingoes. Basically, they evolve, they call many, they jump from one name to the other, but all in all, the girls started, I think, about 12 years ago. And I think for Sabah, because of the diversity of culture and also religion, so there's not much restriction. I would say currently now Sabah has the most number of ladies team in compared to any other states. But all in all, the most people, the people that's driving the women's rugby here in Sabah, I have to give a bit of acknowledgement to teachers like Josephine, Rudy, Cikgu Rudy. These are all the teachers that are basically encouraging girls to play here in Sabah. I think the last Sabah games we had, I was shocked to see an average of about 14 to 16 teams for girls team. So we're talking about teams that comes from small towns and everything else. I was surprised. I was approached by 2 or 3 teachers to say that we formed the women's team or the men's team because you came to us about 4 or 5 years ago under the GIR program, and now they basically continued and having teams and participating in the Sabah sports and everything else. And that's basically tells you that the program is doing something right, and then teachers are also picking up the programs, and I think that's great. We've left an impact to teachers to continue the sports. I think having the fact that we have the most number of girls in the national team, I think if I'm not mistaken, about 4 or 5 of the girls in the national team are from Sabah, tells a lot about Sabah development for women.
Wow. So that's I guess probably I can say that wherever you go, Raimi, you make an impact to people.
Very kind of you. I think the teachers
And
understand.
of course, we've heard stories of the girls that have made the national side from Sabah. There's quite a number of them that have made the national side, right?
Correct. Yeah, you're right. I think they're prominent. We hope that after they finish contributing for the national team, obviously they come back and basically start spreading it because they can. Sabahans are very prideful people. Their icons may not be New Zealanders, Dan Carter or Sonny Bill Williams and everything else. They
Or me?
idolize them. Yes, or yourself. I think the Sabahans or the Sarawakians they they inspire to be their local heroes. Like our national players, our state players that are playing in the national. Players like Sam Rentab, Badrum Mukti. We got a few local players here. They're great. We have even in the ranks moving up. We got players, under 23 players that's moving into the national team, and that shows that somehow rather Sabah Rugby Union or even Eagle Rugby Club is doing something right for the last 10 years. It may not be that I'm around, like you may have said, they have already had that structure. I'm only here to help facilitate.
Yeah, for sure. Great job. Whatever it is, a great job. You guys have done. Shakeel, Shazia, Mais, and also Raimi. You guys have done a tremendous job, and hopefully, you guys continue to do the good job that you are doing, and don't stop, because we need people like you guys to grow rugby, in wherever you are, in Pakistan, in Jordan, in Malaysia, and or probably Sabah, like where Raimi is. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much, Shakeel, Shazia, Mais, and Raimi, for being on the show. Thank you very much for being with us. You guys have been great, sharing your stories, going to rural areas, going to jungles, missing in action from wherever that you are based for a few days to just to grow the game. We need people like you. We need more people like you to grow the game. And of course, if there are more people like you, we'll have more rugby players out there. For those out there, sorry about the delay just now. We had some technical issues. That's why we started late. But of course, you can join us same time, same day next week as we bring you something more exciting for Asia Rugby Live. See you again next week. I'm Rod, and this is Asia Rugby Live. See you.